Good morning, everyone. It's 10 past, so yes, it's time to start. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Juan. I work at EPCC in the ARCHER2 team, and I work in training at CSC that provides support Archer with ARCHER2 with the queries, software installation, etc. So, okay, today we will learn more about ARCHER2 for software developers. So we will learn how to use ARCHER2 and also how to compile code and how to make the best use of the machine. A couple of things before we start. What I will paste in the chat is the course material that we will follow today and tomorrow. Let me. Okay, Julien was also. So yeah, this is the website that we will follow. And also, what else? We will have an Etherpad. Julian, would you mind? Yes, thank you. So yes, this is the course Etherpad. So this is a share path that we will use to type and to get to in case that we need to write some commands on the oh, so on. So okay, what I will do is I will share my screen. Let me just. Yeah, indeed, I forgot to mention that yeah, the session will be recorded, and also that part that, for example, now we will have a round of introduction, so this will be removed from the recording that so it will be like anonymized as much as possible. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I will share my screen. Just one moment. Also, I will switch off my camera, otherwise will be too much for my laptop. So okay, this is the contents and okay, the schedule is as follows. So both days we will start at 10. Actually, we're 5 past 10 to allow the people to connect beginning at the same time. And we will have a morning break at 11. Also, we will have an afternoon break at 2:15, and the session will finish at 4 p.m. And similar for day 2. So here you have all these. You have this the schedule. So okay, let's start with the. So well, welcome, and what we will do is this to write the materials of this course. We use the carpentries template, and also we will try to do as much as possible carpentries. The carpentries methodology that this is based in make the course as much interactive as possible, and also do exercises and learn by using exercises and learn by typing in the terminal. So this will be as much practical as possible. Also encourage you, in case that you have any questions, please use there is a button on the bottom that is raise a hand, and you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Also, please, you can also use the chat and type the question there. Yes, please feel free to ask as many questions as you have. Also, it's pointed here that feedback is important to us to improve to keep improving the courses and offer a good service. So at the end of tomorrow, at the end of the day, we will send you a link with the feedback that you can complete, and we will appreciate that. Also, is this course is if you are taking part in the course, and well, this mentioned in a previous email, the course will follow the ARCHER2 code of conduct. That summary of this code is like be kind each other, so be respectful. Yes, in a nutshell, be kind. Okay, so let's continue with this lesson. So okay, this episode is connecting to ARCHER2 and transferring data. And before we continue with that, I would like to double check if all of you managed to get access to ARCHER2. You can type the answer in the chat. Yes, please. So I see that yeah, that two people already. Oh, nice. So yes, I see that most of you managed to get access to ARCHER2. Actually, what I will do, okay, I will make this, yeah, I hope the font is okay, is big enough. So nice, I see that, yeah, most of you, all of you are connected to ARCHER2. So yeah, this like first part is solved, so well done. Let's keep with the. So yes, our first step is to get access to ARCHER2 using SSH. And that's, as you know, the ARCHER2 login address is login.archer2.ac.uk. And also, you need to configure, okay, the password and SSH key. This is like a system to make this system like more secure, having a two-factor authentication system. Now what we will talk is about the password, because when you first log into ARCHER2, you use a one-time password, but then you need to change the password, and the password is a quite important element, because a password should be secure enough in order to make our account like more secure for. And here for Archer, we have the ARCHER2 password policy. That this is explain what the rules that we set up for both the password and also the usernames. So you may have noticed that, for example, the usernames cannot be like longer than the 8 characters, for instance, so on. And what we will do is now we will do a quick exercise. That this is here we have 4 passwords, and you should say if the passwords are strong or not. So please, would you mind considering these four passwords to see if they are strong or not? We will uh, discuss the answers when you're done with the exercise. So please, when you finish with the exercise, type done in the chat. Thank you. I see that, yeah. Some people are cool. So what we can do is we can see the answers together. So for the first one, my password is the answer is not because it's not strong enough. It's like they use like mm, common names, and also that doesn't contain, for example, numbers, doesn't contain symbols, and it's all in lowercase. So that's not a good. The second one is there is now a common strategy because you may know you can have like a lot of accounts and it's difficult to remember all passwords. So strategy is to have to choose three different words and you can concatenate them together. So that's why this password. The second one is rainbow llama jumping. So there are three different words concatenate, and that makes a stronger password because this is long enough. Also is easy to remember. The third one is also a good password, but for example, it's difficult to remember. This password is good, for example, in my case, I use a password manager because at the beginning I used to remember all passwords, but now that I have so many accounts on ARCHER2, Cirrus, in other machines, it's impossible to remember everything. So in my case, for example, I use a password manager and I use this type of, let's say, ugly passwords. And the fourth one is, okay, follows the same example as I said in the second example, but this is like from a joke that is that we will see the joke now. There is a question saying that can we just choose any password now? Yes, when you first log into ARCHER2, you need to use the one-time password, but then you need to update the password, and exactly you need to choose the password that a password that you will remember, or a password that you will save in your password manager. But the joke, if you copy that into Google, okay, because I'm in the guest, I agree. You will see here the joke of the. I will copy this in the chat in case that you want to check later. The is paste. So yeah, this is the. So that's why it's like not strong because it's already somewhere on the internet. Cool. So also yes, thanks Julien. Julien pasted the password policy. So you cannot choose any password. You need to follow certain rules. So okay, this is for the password. For the SSH keys, most of you have already done that. You need to generate an SSH key and upload the public part to save. The SSH key must be password protected, or well, this is in they use a passphrase, and you need to upload the public part to save, and keep your private part. The private part should be always in your laptop. you shouldn't like copy it somewhere else. And yes, the public part you can upload this to save, or you can share that part. So next is we have the data transfer services, that is ACP, rsync. Also, you can use Globus Online. Personally, I I never use it, but other colleagues of mine have done that. Normally, what I use when I need to transfer data from my laptop to ARCHER2, or the other way around, is I use SCP. For example, if it's only a file, I use SCP, and if it's more than one file, of if you have a directory, you can use rsync. The difference is between both of them. rsync, if you have like a large directory, you can it's like this tool is for mirroring. So if you have already on ARCHER2 files that you have previously that have been previously transferred, you don't need to transfer them again. So rsync check that if the file already exists or not, and only transfer the files that are needed. And SCP is like more basic in the sense that it's like just to copy a large file, for instance. Next section, or this is what it's playing is like a best practices to send the data. So, for example, it's easier to send a large file rather than a lot of files. And to do that, you can use either zip, that this is a tool that you may have on your laptop, and also you can use tar, that this is another tool. Also, okay, what is explained here is that you don't need, for example, if you generate on ARCHER2 1 TB of data, check if you need all the data. So, for example, you can have a lot of intermediate files, or you can have a checkpoint that you may not need them. So you don't need to like copy them to your laptop, because yes, will be a long transfer, and also they will take space in your laptop that this is not like important, or needed. And also, when you compress large files, you should bear in mind that if the compression will help or will make things more difficult. Sometimes, for example, if you choose to compress a file, so if you choose like a method that is like quite consumes a lot of resources, they will take a lot of time. The time that you save transferring the files will be like small compared to the time that you spend sending the data. So the suggestion that is made here, that is you don't need to compress the data, but if you do that, my advice is like you should use like a light compression, because in most cases the difference will not be high. But again, it depends on your it depends on your files, because your files maybe if you compress them, they will the size will be much reduced. So my suggestion is to do a short test and see if compression makes sense or not, and play with and play with that. So, okay, the exercise here, what we will do is we will take some files that we have in our laptop. We will create an uncompressed zip archive file. And also, this is like a bonus for this exercise. We will upload the file to ARCHER2 to see if the file transfer works or not. So please let me know when this is when you have done that, and I will show you the answer when you are done. So yeah, the two steps is first create the file, the uncompressed archive file, and then you can upload it to ARCHER2. Great. So okay, what I will do is I will share my terminal and let's solve the exercise together. Let me okay, sure. Okay, doesn't work. 1 second. Should be this loud. Okay,
yeah, I can see it.
it now great. So is this like big enough? Can you read it? Okay, please let me know in the chat if.
It looks good to me.
Good, thank you. So okay, what I will do is okay, let's do an example. The sample is okay. What I will do is I will move to my desktop folder, and I will get a folder. For example, what I will do is I will get the folder of the with the with the lesson. That this is like I will do git clone. So okay, if I do ls, you will you find that okay, I have that folder. And what I will do is, for example, this folder could be software or this that you have in your laptop or test cases, whatever. You need to send this to ARCHER2. So the way of doing that is first we will because the folder have so many files, and this is better if you put them into a small file and send this to. So a way to do that, you can use zip. That this is zip minus o, sorry, minus 0. That means that no compression. R to make this recursive, and we will choose a name. For example, lesson.zip. And now I need to tell the program to tell the tool the folder that we will compress or compress put in a same file. So if I do that, if I click enter, okay, they say that this is adding the files to the. And also to now the second part is to check the contents of the zip. So to check the contents is zip minus t, and type the name of the file. That this is a lesson dot. Oops. Uh, minus t doesn't work for me. Not sure if this is like a, okay, this is the normal stuff what you are like.
It's an uppercase T.
But okay, so this should be fixed in the, yes, thank you for that. This was like to test the abilities of the instructor. I failed. So okay, so yeah, this is like to verify. This is like a yeah, they said a test of lesson zip. Okay. This is using the zip command. Well, this is like not included there in case that you want, if you could be more familiar using tar. Is depends on the yes, it depends on the user. So some of them could be more familiar with some tools, or what I will do is I will explain the sample using tar. So for example, using tar, this is like a little bit, well, more difficult, but for example, in my case, I'm more familiar with that. We have also, for people that use Linux, not sure if this is available on, should be available on Mac, or if you have a Windows uh, like a terminal, but well, in case that this is not available, just you can learn that. And well, this also could be useful if in case that you want to execute this on ARCHER2. So for example, okay, we have a tar, and the thing is we need to type a C, that C stands for create, and we can type also V, that is like a verbose, that they will list all the files that are added to the file, and then F. F is stands for a file, and when you type that, you need to say the file that you want to create. So in our case, it will be lesson.tar. And now you need to specify the folder. The folder is 2021. Yeah, all of these. So let's see if that works. When I execute that, I get a list of the files that are in the tar file. If I do ls, I will find that okay, I have my folder, I have a lesson.zip and a lesson.tar, and also what I can do is I can list the contents. Let's see if I remember this right. I think it's tar. If was the command was tf, I think, lesson.tar. Yes, T. So in that case, you can see the list of files that are included in the. And just to make this a little bit more complete, if you added here, sorry, set, this will compress the file. So let's, for example, let's do this let's do this tar. C is create, set is to compress, verbose, and F for file, and we will change the extension tar gset. Okay, let's do that. See that, yeah, it takes a little bit long. Well, in our case, because this is like a quite it's a toy sample, doesn't take longer. And what we can do is we can do ls minus l h to see. Well, for example, in this case, we get a gain of, for example, the lesson tar is 14 megabytes. When we compress, is almost 10 megabytes. So we get. This is mainly because most of the contents are text files, and in these cases, you get a good ratio when you compress these files. Okay, so now next step is to upload the files to the upload the file to ARCHER2. So let's do that. Let's see if that works. So what I will use SCP. So if you're familiar with the command cp copy, you need to specify the origin and the destination. With the SCP, it's the same. So the origin is lesson dot. Okay, we'll transfer the compressed file lesson.tar.gz, and what I will send is to ARCHER2. Okay, I will use the same. Let me check if I remember. Key.archer2.ac.uk. And this is important. Don't forget to add a column here. If not, what you will do is you will do a copy in your folder, and you will not send the file there. So if I do that, let's see if that works. I will get asked for the password, and because I use a password manager, let's see if I can copy password. And here what I do is paste. And yes, I see that the file is transfer. And what I can do is I can connect to my account, SSH ARCHER2 CSC. Password again is asked. And if I do ls, I will do is I will list only the files that are set. I see that my file is there. So now I will do exit. And you may wonder, because instead of typing my username at login.archer2.ac.uk, I use archer2 CSE. This is because, well, in case that you do a lot of connections to ARCHER2, an easy way in order not to type everything is to configure to create a config file. The config file is located in, let me see if I remember, is dot. Okay, well, first you need to go to your home directory that is with this symbol, or well, you can type the full home dot ssh dot config. It will be different in case that I mean this is dependent on your operating system. So if this works for Linux, Mac, I think for Windows, if you use also a Linux terminal. But please let me know if you have or you want to find out this. Well, I think this is also with the. Well, in case that you use Windows or mobile, Xterm is a good. Also, is a good solution in order not to. But well, in case that you use Linux, so when I use this here, the file, you see that I have a host that this is called ARCHER2 CSE, and I have a host name that this is the login name. Also, I have a user that is my username, and in identity file, I specify the path where I have the private key, because in case that you have several keys, you need to specify the path. Also, because you see the name is not the standard one, so you need to specify the full name. So this is specifying that. You can exit, and instead of like typing everything, you can do SSH archer2 dot sorry archer2 hyphen CSE. So okay, do you have any questions now? Please let me know in the chat. If not, I'll continue with the next lesson. Okay, we'll stop sharing. I will find the lesson that is here. Should be okay. This one. Okay, now it works. So yeah, this is the solution, and what key points here that the ARCHER2, the login address is login.archer2.ac.uk. Password policy is available on the website, and also there are different ways to transfer. We haven't seen where we use SCP. Also, a useful way to is rsync. Or in Windows, if you use MOVA Xterm, I think they have like a graphical user interface to transfer files easily from your laptop to Archer, and also could be done the other way around, from Archer2 to your laptop. So if there are no any questions, they said I'll have here the morning break, but in order to keep because we said that the morning break will take place at 11, and we have 10 minutes. What I will do is I will start with the next lesson, and we will have the break at 11 in order to keep in time with the schedule, if that's okay. So now what we will learn now is the overview of the ARCHER2 system. Here is the overview is explained for when the 23 cabinets of ARCHER2 are available. But now we have 4 cabinets available. Well, now I introduced that. Yes, like ARCHER2 are the full system is 23. And but yes, available now we have 4 cabinets, and hopefully soon or this year at some point we will have the full system. So what is I would like to okay, here to show you this figure, this picture. This is a scheme of the schema of ARCHER2. So to connect to ARCHER2, well, this is us. We use SSH. Also, we can use client to like yes, SSH or MOVA Xterm or any tool to transfer files. And when we connect to ARCHER2, we connect to the login nodes. The data analysis nodes are not available yet on ARCHER2, but when the full system is available, this node will be available. So login nodes, the aim is to submit jobs, to compile, etc. And the data analysis nodes are when you have, for example, when your job has already run and you want to analyze some data, for example, in case that you want to compress the files, or in case that you want to run some Python scripts in order to get the data that you need for your plot, for your article. You can use the data analysis nodes that this will be documented later in the ARCHER2 user guide. But so far, what you need to realize is, okay, we have the login nodes. When we transfer data, on the data that we have access to from the login nodes, this is transferred to the home disk. So on ARCHER2, we will have two main directories. We will have a home, that this is where we have our data. Home is backup for the disaster recovery. What that means that, for example, if you accidentally delete something, you will not be able to recover that, because let's say that this is like a user error. But in case that ARCHER2 for some cases like down, or there is an error with the disk or anything, just to let you know that the data there in home is backup. So this data will not be lost in case that there is any issue with the ARCHER2. So this is home, and also we have our work directory. Work, as you can see, this is shared with the compute nodes. So all data that this is in that is located in work can be accessed by the compute nodes. This is important because when you submit a job to the compute nodes, that this is what I haven't introduced on ARCHER2. Now we have two types. We have the login node and we have a compute node. Compute node is when you use the batch system, that this is in ARCHER2 is Slurm, and Julien later today will explain more about that system. The compute nodes only have access to the work partition. You don't have access to home. So both software that you compile and test cases should be located in work. Also, please bear in mind that this partition is not backup. So in case that there is any issue with ARCHER2, data could not be recovered from work. So the advice here is when you have important data that you want to keep, please copy it from work to your home directory. So this is please interrupt me in case that you have any questions. So we have the login nodes, and here we have more details about the computer nodes. So the computer nodes in the full system, we will have almost 6,000 compute nodes. Now we have around 1,000 compute nodes, and the total will be like 750,000 computer cores on the full system on ARCHER2. Also, we will have different compute nodes based on the available memory. So we will call standard compute nodes when the memory available is 256 gigabytes, and we will have a small amount, almost 300 high memory compute nodes that will have a double of memory available. That this case will be 512 gigabytes of memory. In the 4-cabinet system, we only have a standard memory nodes. The high memory, or how is called here? Yeah, high memory compute nodes will be available when the full system is available. And also here we have a table that compares ARCHER2, a compute node of ARCHER2, with a compute node of ARCHER. The differences that we can spot is that the processor is different. Here we have two AMD ROM, and on Archer we have two Intel processors. So this is like an important difference. On Archer we have two processors of 12 cores, so a total of 24. And here processors are much bigger, are 64 cores. And we have two, so the total cores per node is 128. Also is the NUMA is we have on ARCHER2 we have 8 NUMA regions, and on Archer we only have 2 NUMA regions. Not sure if you are familiarized with that. Just to introduce, NUMA stands by non-uniform memory access. So when you place when you do like when you place processes on Archer2, the same node, and you want to get better performance, you should bear in mind the NUMA regions. We will explain this like later in the. But what you should bear in mind that there are like NUMA means like a non-uniform memory access. So it's like the memory is divided into 8 regions. So if a processor access to their own memory region is faster than the processor. I said I meant core. When the core access to the memory region that is assigned to this core is faster than when the core access to a different NUMA region. So for performance purposes, you should bear in mind that. And also, well, they are explained that it's 16 cores per NUMA region. Also, you have like the differences in capacity, bandwidth, and we see that on ARCHER2 we have a better bandwidth than on Archer. Okay, I will stop here. We have a morning break from 11 to quarter past 11. So please, yes, feel free to have a break, grab a cup of coffee or whatever, and we will see you back on quarter past 11. Also, in case that you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll be around. Okay, yeah, I guess that yeah, no questions so far because yeah, this is the beginning. But they will get in the afternoon. We will see the how to use the ARCHER2 the scheduler, that is a Slurm. Also, we will see how to compile codes on ARCHER2. But yeah, we are still like in the introduction learning about the ARCHER2 hardware and software. So okay, I will share my screen with the material. Should be this one. It's taking some time. Okay, now it works. Okay, just to recap what you need to remember from the previous lesson, we have two types. Now for this 4-cabinet system, we have two types of nodes: login nodes and compute. Okay, I think this is a. I will share my screen again. Sorry about that.
Sorry, that was my bad.
No, no worries. Is as yeah, I was explaining, just to recap from the previous lesson, yes, before the break, we have a login nodes and we have a compute nodes. The data analysis nodes will be available when the full system is. And also the space we have for disk we have two partitions. We have a home that is a backup and is accessible by the login nodes, and also we have a work that we have access from the login nodes and the compute nodes. In the full system, we will also have a solid state partition that we will talk about that later. Regarding compute nodes, we have explained the differences. That mainly is ARCHER2. In each node, you have more cores than on Archer. We have 128, and on Archer we have 24 cores. So for storage, exactly we have a home, work, and solid state. And what I will do, rather than going through here, I will switch my screen and share my terminal. Uh, 1 second. Okay, this one. Yeah, should be that one. Okay, allow. Yeah, it's taking some time to switch. Okay, let me try again. Don't know why it's taking so long, but it will appear eventually. Okay, so yeah, this is the welcome message. I'm now on ARCHER2. So let's talk a little bit more about the directories. At the beginning is maybe could be confusing, but when you get used to it, it's easy. So okay, where we are. So if we type pwd, we'll see that our home directory is in /home our project ID, that this is TA022. Also the subgroup, that this is the same name as the group ID or the project ID, the TA022, and my username, that in this case is GRH TA022. You should have other username. So our data that is here is accessible by the login node. That also you can recognize that you are in the login node because the prompt said U101 or could say U102. So we are in the login node. How can I move to the work directory? So the structure is the same, but what it changed is instead of home is a work. So I can do a cd, and this is a /work /TA022 /TA022 and your username. That is JRH TA022. So now you see that we are in the work directory. This directory is shared also with the compute node. So your code and test cases, etc., should be there. Sometimes you get a message that, for example, I don't know, the test where the name of your test case is not found or the command is not found. This is because this is located in home directory rather than in work directory. So this is like the main difference. So just give me a second. What's next? Also, what is explained in the documentation, you could have a sub project. A sub project means that what I said before, that the second TA022 could be another folder, and also you can have a different quota. that we will see that in a moment. Okay, I was talking about quotas. Each group or each project has a quota you have two quotas. You have the file size, I mean the size that you can have on your on disk, and also you have the number of files. So for example, to see that on your screen, you can type the following. You can type LFS quota, the project ID, that this is TAO22, and we need to specify the partition, that this is a slash work. Okay. This is because I forgot to include this minus HG. H is to show you like human readable numbers, and G is because you need to specify the group. The group in our case is our project ID, that this is TAO22. So if we execute that, we see that these quotas for group TAO22, and we see that the file system slash work, we have used 44 kilobytes. So it's, yes, we are not using a lot. And the limit that we have in this case is 50 gigabytes. So we cannot, as a group, we cannot use more than 50 gigabytes of memory on work. If we use more, we will get an error writing a file saying that there is no more, there is no disk space available, and this is like this quota is by group. Also, we can see if we have a quota by user. The quota depends on the project manager, that the PI, the principal investigator, that quotas can be defined. Actually, yes, let's say the mandatory ones are by group, and also you can have a quotas by user. Let's check if we have a quota by user. So if we type LFS quota minus HU, U stands for user. So my user is JRH-TAO22. And again, I need to specify the partition slash work. So I see that the limit is 0. That means that I don't have a limit so I don't have a quota. So I can use up to 50 gigabytes. But also bear in mind that these 50 gigabytes are shared between project users. So if, for example, if I use 40 gigabytes, another user can only use 10 gigabytes. So also you should tidy up your space and don't leave files that are not needed anymore. And as I mentioned before, well, just to introduce a solid state will be another partition that when you need to, for example, if you create temporary files or checkpoint files or files that are needed during the execution of your software, this solid state, the read and write bandwidth will be faster than the one that we have in slash work. So if you want to increase the performance regarding I/O, this will be like a good feature that will have the full system, the full ARCHER2 system. Okay, what else I would like to explain to you is to share files between group members and between ARCHER2 users. So, okay, let's move to home. That is if we type cd, we move to home and type pwd, and you see that, yes, we are in home directory. And we have two subdirectories that are important to remember. One of them is this one. We'll type that this is cd home slash TA022 slash share. So if I if I paste here a file, this file will be accessible by all ARCHER2 users. So yeah, this is like important to bear in mind. For example, normally this is useful when you submit a query to the ARCHER2 service desk and you want to share files with the query handler. You need to copy these files there, and also you need to grant permission to that file. If you want to share files only among your the project members, you should move here. So you should change directory /home / your project ID. That is in this case is TA022. Again, the subgroup that is same TA022, and here you will have a directory called share. So everything that is there is shared among project members. So way to let's do an example to for example, in case that I want to share some interesting data with you. Let's okay, let's do this example here. So for example, okay, what I will do, I will go back to my home directory, do ls. Okay, this is empty, and what I will do is I will create a file. For example, in my directory, I will let's say file could be hello.txt. So I will type hi, my name is Juan. These are the instructions, blah blah blah. So if I save the file and you do you show the content of the file, hello.txt, this file will contain some instructions. So what I will do is I want to share this file with you. So what I need to do is I need to copy with the CP and now I need the name of the file, hello.txt, and I will copy that in the shared directory that we have the project members. That, if you remember, is /home /TA022 /TA022 share. So I will copy that file there, and now I will go to that directory, cd /home /TA022 share. So you see ls, and please let me know in the chat if you can access the file. What I will do is I will check the first permissions of my file. Yes. So this is the way to share files. Also, you should bear in mind the permissions, because if you see the file, to see the permissions, you may know that this is ls minus lh, and you see that here, okay, yeah, this is a highlight in the, here we have the permissions. For example, the user can read and write, for example, you can read, and well, others can read, but because this is in this folder, and the folder is protected by other from other users, cannot be accessed to the. For example, if I want you to allow to modify the file, what I need to do is change the permissions. So to change the permission is we need to use a chmod mod, and what I will grant is a write access to the. So chmod is, if I remember right, G, that stands for group, plus, because I'm granting access, plus write, and now the name of the file. So hello.txt. So if I do that, and I do again ls minus lh, you can see that, for example, now you can you can you can write on the file. And also, what it could happen that, for example, you copy the file and you forget to give, for example, the file doesn't have the right permissions. Let's do the test. Chmod 600. Well, this is also another way that using a mask that, well, in case it's 600 means that I can read and write the file, but you don't have any type of access. Hello.txt. Would you mind to try and see if you can read the file now? Please let me know if you can see the. Yes, exactly. You get permission denied because sometimes I can copy files that are not in the that you cannot have access. The way that to modify that is chmod, and to allow you again, I can type 640. That this is like the numbers is the mask of the. It's like a different way to specify hello. And now if you try to read again the file, you will have a. It will be possible because you will have a read access. This is also important when you share with all ARCHER2 users to yes, to bear in mind the permissions. These three first bits are for you. These for three are for the users that are in the same group, and these last three are for all ARCHER2 users. Also, another thing to explain is the following, that the files that are on your home directory cannot be accessed by anyone else. So for example, when you submit a query to the ARCHER2 service desk, you should copy the files to a share folder. Otherwise, we will not have access to the files. So your files are yours. Is not not open to. We don't have access. Let me check if I forget something to explain. Also, yes, indeed, I forgot. My example is a file, is just a file. But what if I want to change the permissions of a whole folder? You need to do a chmod -r. So this will modify all files inside the folder. Also bear in mind as well that for files you will need a read and maybe, well, no, could write access, but for folders, it's also important to grant execution access. That this is the, for example, if I do well, let's say, you will see, for example, here that they have a folder called module, and this folder has this X that means execution access. For example, here you see also like this file that only is read-write access, so anyone else. Also, permissions are per file and per folder. For example, I can create here a file that has everyone could have access, but if you don't have access to the folder, doesn't matter because I will not be able to see your file. Hope that makes sense. What I will do now is I will share the system. Okay, I will share the lesson, the materials. Let's see if that. Please feel free to ask me if you have any questions. So I think it's this one. Let's see if that works. Let's try again. I don't know why this morning is taking some time. Yes, okay, now it works. So what I explain more or less is like explain here in case that you want to check. Also, this as we mentioned, the session is recorded and this will be available on YouTube, so you can check anytime. So let's talk about the system software. The system software, okay, ARCHER2 is Linux. We use the Cray Linux environment that is based in SUSE Enterprise Linux. And okay, the important bits here are okay, which compilers do we have available on ARCHER2? We have three compilers. We have GCC, we have version 10, and I think there is also version 9. We have the Cray compilers, and also we have, because this is AMD, the processors are AMD, we have AMD compilers. So we have three compilers available for to compile our code. Also the MPI, the version is, well, we have the Cray MPI, that this is a MPIC2 base version. Also for numerical libraries, we have the Cray library that contains BLAS, LAPACK, ScalaPack, etc. So we have HDF5, NetCDF, FSTW, that all of them are Cray, are compiled by Cray. We will see that later using the module system on ARCHER2 this afternoon. Also, we have debugging and profiling tools in case that your code fails. We have GDB for HPC, we have Valgrind for HPC, and also we have Cray tools. Also, the Python 3 is available on ARCHER2. It's Cray Python. It's a version of Cray that is runs faster than the standard Python. We have also another environment. If I'm not sure if you were an ARCHER2 user or sorry, an Archer user or not, but the main difference is here that is we have an optimized Python 3, so this is the Cray Python. Here, because we don't have Intel processors, we don't have the Intel compiler. So if your code is dependent on the Intel compiler, you need to do some work in order to port and use either GCC or the Cray compiler. Also here, I need to update that later. Actually, it's update, but I didn't. It's on my laptop. I didn't do the pull request. MKL libraries are available on Archer2. All is a version is available in case that you want to use it, but not the Inter2 compilers. And also, on Archer2 is not available ARM Forge tools. That is the DTT debugger and the map profiler. We have the Cray tools, and also we have a GDB, Bargrind, etc. Also, okay, we have here, this is regarding system software. And also we have packages that are available to you. That the packages that are already installed are, we have Castep, Code Saturn, OpenFOAM, GrowMax. You have here a large list. This software, it could be a license or not. What that means, if this is not a license, you can load the module that we will see that this afternoon, and you will be able to use that software. In case that this is a license, you need, if there are two things here. If it's a license and it's available on Archer2, you need to request access via safe, and our team will check if the license is okay or not, and we will grant you access to this software. In case that this license software is not available, well, you need to compile that in your directory and use your license. We are always happy to provide you the support on this. This list could be updated or not, but what this update is the Archer2 documentation. That we will have a look at that. What I mentioned is, well, the researcher. Okay, well, let's make this maybe a little bit bigger. Research software. Here you have the list of the software that is available on Archer2. For example, if we click on the Cast tab, we will have useful links, how to request access to, because, for example, in this case, Cast tab is a licensed software. So if we click here, we will go to the safe documentation, and we will see the instructions to get access via safe. Go back. And well, here you have the script that you can use to run Castep, etc. Well, you have also instructions to compile Castep on your directory. In case that you want to do so, or you want to test something, in case that you don't want to use the centrally installed version. And also here we have software libraries. That this is what I mentioned, the HPA create a live site that contains Blast, LAPACK, etc. And also we have the FFTW, STDFI, and STDF. You have the system libraries list here in the Archer2 documentation. So yes, it's useful to have a look and see if in case that you need something, in case that this is because it could be already available there. Also, another way that we will see this afternoon is to check the available modules that we have on the system. Okay, so let's go back to the lesson. Okay, so just to recap, well, okay, before I forget saying that in case that this is like a difference because on Archer we not sure if I think we didn't have containers, but well, what Archer 2 now is like a gone. Sorry, Archer is gone. Let's talk about Archer 2. On Archer 2 we have singularity containers. That if we click here, actually we have there is a Archer 2 course about containers, and I think let me tomorrow there is a talk about containers as well at 3 p.m. If I remember right. So well, here you have documentation because you can use a container. I mean, the main message here is that you can use containers on Archer 2. Here is documented, but we will not cover this now. There will be a course. There are some webinars that these webinars are also recorded and you can have access later on. So. Yes, thanks, Julien. This is the talk of about the webinars tomorrow. If I remember right, it's 3 p.m. Tomorrow. Okay, so just to recap a little bit, Archer 2, we have login nodes, compute nodes, and also we have two different storage partitions. We have a home directory and work directory. And yes, the software that is available is you can check this on the Archer 2 documentation. So okay, this is now here there is an exercise that okay, the exercise is now you have 10 minutes to think about for example okay, why would Archer2 be useful for you? So here you can think about the answer, or you can say what you are like what is your research, or for example the software that you may want to use. With a small sentence will be okay. I think you can mention like for example the software that you plan to use or you would like to use, or if you, for example, could be a package that is already installed on Archer 2, or could be a software that you may develop. So yes, please answer, and we can have a little look at that before going for lunch. Lunch is scheduled. Well, the lunch break is scheduled at noon, and we will have an hour. At 1 p.m. we will be back and we will learn more about modules and compilers, how to compile code on Archer 2. And also we will learn more about, if I remember right, submitting jobs to Archer 2. So will be fun. Will be more, I think, more interesting than this introduction. Sometimes it's a little bit slow. Yes, it's like a more theory. Next part will be more practice, and you will have exercises, and you will play more about. So thanks for the answers. Also, we will keep this open during the lunch break in case that you want to add your answer, and we can also discuss further after lunch. But just before, I see that that for example, a user attendee is interested in larger scale SMT running codes like Z3 or Bulector. Actually, I searched that in that code. I think you can I guess that you refer to that one, that this is like available on GitHub. For example, this code is not available on ARCHER2, but you can download the prerequisite is CMake, that this is available on ARCHER2, GCC compiler, Cython should be, well, if in case that you need to build the Python module, yes, you need Python, that is also available on ARCHER2. Our instructions are here. For example, in this case, you need to download and install the software on your work, on your directory, that this is possible. Also, more answers. Seen that, for example, there is FVCOM, that this is I saw a query. I think that other users are working on that to port this model to ARCHER2. The weather researcher forecasting model, that yes, there are instructions about that to build this on ARCHER2. If you're interested, please let me know. I can send you the instructions. Are somewhere published, are public in a GitHub repository. Yes, so I will. Please, in case that I forget, please let me know. If I will actually I will copy the instructions here in the Etherpad. And yes, we have also. Oh, nice. We have there is a see that you have a ECSC grant to run the Paraffin. That is a new library for discrete stereo. That is Paragems. Also, well, I see that there is a question if we are going to discuss speed and feeds, catch sizes associated, cost of going outside a NUMA region. This part is not covered. What we will see later is how to map price and threats to the cores of the ARCHER2 node, in order to get a good efficiency. But we will not cover the I think we will, well, we will not cover this, because this is an introductory course, and the aim of this course is to help you and learn to help you to learn how to use ARCHER2. I think this content is covering other courses. I can let you know. I'll keep an eye on this and let you know. And also there is another answer, that is they will use VASP. For example, VASP is a license code, but yes, it's available on Archer, so you can request access and you can use the access. Okay, so this is a lunch break. So we will be back at 1 p.m. And yes, this part, the second part of today will be like a more. We will have more exercises, and you will be able to submit jobs to ARCHER2, and we will play more with ARCHER2. So yes, thank you so much, and have a nice lunch break, and see you back at 1 p.m.